be the cause of a zombie outbreak?
Well, there are many things to be cause of an outbreak. First is, well, there's a lot of location problems because a lot of researchers have been studying a lot of different types of viruses, so things could go wrong, like accidentally dropping a vial or anything. But they do have safety stuff in place, but we all know that they're not proof enough for an outbreak such as air breaks. You know, like they could go through the air.
Well, if it were to go into the air, what are some symptoms that the common citizens could get?
Well, there is a variety of stuff. It would start out like the common flu symptoms, like headache, nauseous, coughs, and vomiting, most of all.
Well, if somebody were to get this, like, what would your family do to prepare?
To prepare? Well, prepare to be overrun by zombies. So what you would have to do is prepare a backpack. Like supplies, basic necessities, make sure you could get a shelter, some food, and some type of weapon. Because the only way those can be killed is to a shot to the head or their head cut off.
Would they have to live anywhere specific?
Well, that depends, because it depends where the zombies have spread.
So, you were saying stay away from the cities?
Well, that's where the most people would probably be, so that's where it would probably be most contagious. The only way that they could get this virus is that they would have to be bitten, or like you said before, the airborne one. So it's best to stay away from them. But if you get the airborne virus, there's no way to cure it, so you're out of luck.
Well, what are some survival tips for this?
Survival tip number 1. Never be alone. That's a good one, because you cannot fight an army by yourself. Even though some of us think we're awesome and stuff, but we cannot fight by ourselves. Let's see. Number 2, grab a weapon. Definitely grab some type of sword of some type, because ammo runs out. So, and they're hard to come by when you're not in the city all the time, or by a weapon shop, or wherever you find ammo. So what you would have to do is make sure you have a good slicing weapon. Maybe a knife, butcher knife, machete, maybe. The other thing would be to gather some essentials. If you need toilet paper, grab the toilet paper. If you need food, the best recommended food would be processed items such as ramen noodles and canned beans.
Well, would you recommend non-perishable foods like beans?
Yes. Yes, especially beans, because those are most common. But if you get ramen noodles, canned vegetables seem to work. Oh, and peanut butter is also a good one.
What about nutrition? You can't just live your life on ramen noodles.
But if a lot of foods are contaminated, then you cannot eat them, such as like fruits and fish and stuff. They could get contaminated. Same with meats. So it's best to stick with the canned foods until we can develop a way to combat the virus.
Well, whatever shelter you're sitting in and surviving in, well, isn't it gonna get penetrated by the zombies, but eventually?
It depends. The zombies are pretty dumb. We have tested that they cannot hold a weapon. Mainly they're just walking around like the living dead. They can't think. They wouldn't be able to open any doors unless they were already opened.
Would you recommend an escape route?
Yes, always have an escape plan. Just like any fires or natural disasters, you must have an escape plan.
Do you think this could happen in our near future?
It's a possibility if we are not careful of what type of weapons we develop, or what kind of science that we develop as well.
Thank you.